Hello, I'm going to do a quick demonstration of how we can use buildout to create very quick Django development environments. I'm working on a project at the moment called Haggis, and it has a component called Haggis build, which is basically just a buildout that we're using. This is all in Mercurial, so the first thing I'm going to do is that for my new application, I'm going to take a copy of this using the HIG archive command and put it somewhere else. So I'm going to put it into test Haggis. If I now go to my test Haggis directory, there are the beginnings of my project. First thing I want to do is run my bootstrap program, which creates the various scripts that the buildout will use. And then I want to make one change to my setup.py to just tell it what the name of my project will be that we're working on. Most of the stuff in here is not needed. All I need to do is change that for the moment. Okay, so let's run buildout. It's going to be pretty quick, as most of the eggs and source code it needs are already cached to my hard disk. Okay, so I now have actually a working Django environment. Well, it does very much, but if I do bin Django help, you're actually calling the manage.py script. There's a lot of extras there that the Django command line extensions is adding into that. So now I actually want to create my Django app itself. This is the project. I'm going to put an app within it, which I'm going to call test Haggis again. So bin Django startup test Haggis. It puts that into the wrong place. It's fine. I can easily move that. Should go into source. Then I need to make two changes. This is what's called development egg, and I need to change my buildout to know that it's there. We just stick it down the bottom here. Test Haggis without misspellings like that would be a good idea. And then we want to also change our standard Django settings so that this is an app. It should be loading. So test Haggis. Alright, run our build out again. Chugga chugga chugga. And now we should find that if I go into bin Django shell, from test Haggis import models. And there's our models file. Obviously there's no code in there, that's what you're going to start working on now. Now, I tried to include in this build a lot of things that are very useful for developing with Django. I'll show you a couple of them. Let's actually try and start our web server up. So bin Django, we need to create the models first. syncdb, yep. I got it, fountain.com. You'll see at the bottom there that this is actually has South, which is the common favourite Django migration system. I'm working with this, I'm not going to demonstrate it here, but it's there if you wanted it. Now, I've created my database. Let's get the database, let's get the web server running. Bin Django run server. And wherever we go, I'm going to log in. That little message there was because of this. This is the Django debug toolbar. Very, very useful little thing. If you're looking at a page and you want to know the SQL queries going on, you can click on that and it'll show you each one. And if you need more goodness in that, you can bring up stacks of information to while away the hours. You got things like your headers, request variables, you can even see the signals that are bouncing around the place. When you don't want this, you can just tuck it away again. So that's a nice little thing that you can have. Now, we've also got another very useful debugging tool. Let's say that I started to make some changes. Pardon me. I'm going to add a new view into here, which is going to be the start of my Hello World unfortunately, not having a clue what I'm doing, and I make a mistake. I'm going to do run server plus this time, which is another part of the Django command extensions. And you'll see down here it's using the Werkzeug debugger, however you pronounce it. What that means is that when I go back to here and I redisplay my page, I get an error. Could not import views. Error was no module named views. Well, that's pretty obvious what it was. But if it wasn't obvious to me, this little traceback here has some extra bits added on. So I can examine any bits of these traceback. I can open up a debugger onto that particular frame. I can say, okay, well, what's the value of node here, for example? It's that, not very useful. But I can also do things like dump node, and it will start inspecting that particular object. And you can do that for any object within any frame here. You can also see the source code that's happening for a particular frame. You can click on it and scroll down. You'll see the source code at the bottom of the page. Very, very useful. So that's it. The last thing we should do, of course, is to check this into Mercurial. HG init, HG add dot, HG commit, start test. And that's that. Extremely easy, extremely quick. Wonderful.